Hello everyone, my name is Trenticles, and this is my attempt to speedrun my total level in RuneScape. Recently, SirPugger hosted a competition to reach the highest total level in 1 hour on an account starting with all level 1 stats. Competitors are allowed to do whatever preparation they want before the hour, just as long as they don't gain any levels. The winner gets max cash. Since the challenge looked fun and the cash stack looked juicy, I decided to compete. Phase 1, the preparation. Preparation was key to doing well in this competition. Submissions were due 1 week after the competition was announced, but I had already made plans to go out of town that weekend, so I ended up only having about 3 days to prepare. Due to the nature of the challenge, it was clear that the best strategy would be to start a bunch of quests ahead of time, then run around collecting the XP rewards during the hour, while also training a bunch of fast viable skills in the extra time. So I looked through all the XP rewarding quests and mini quests that had no requirements to start. I figured I could gain an advantage by completing quests that my competition might think is impossible on a level 3 account. One such quest is Tree Gnome Village. Tree Gnome Village grants approximately 1 fuckton of attack XP, but in order to complete it you need to defeat the Khazard Warlord. According to the OSRS wiki, the Khazard Warlord has 170 hit points, attacks using melee with a max hit of 10, and despawns if the player is out of combat with him for too long. All of this together could make it seem impossible to defeat him on a level 3 account, but I found one piece of information that allowed me to defeat him quite easily. His max hit isn't actually 10, it's 9. This means that I could kill him with recoil, as he wouldn't be able to one-hit me from full HP. So I developed a strategy. I stood on the last tile of his aggro range and let him hit me, then I stepped outside of his range and ate to full, and then I turned around and shoved some flowers in his face to keep him from despawning. After repeating that process for about 25 minutes, I had finally defeated the Khazard Warlord without gaining any levels on my account. I was certain that I would be the only one in the challenge to have a Grand Tree completed. After getting a bunch of quests one step away from completion, all that was left to do was dump a bunch of skilling items onto my account and plan out the run itself. After a considerable amount of staring at the world map, I came up with a solid plan for my run and proceeded to write it down in a very hard to read text document. Phase 2, the run. After my flawless planning and masterful preparation, I was ready for my run. I started my run in a public, player-owned house with superior dragon bones in order to train my prayer level as quickly as possible. I started my run with Dagonoth bones in order to quickly train my prayer level. After about 5 minutes, I reached 43 prayer and immediately completed Witch's Potion, getting me to 4 magic. I then quickly grabbed some items from the bank, then completed Cook's Assistant for level 4 cooking. I then teleported to the Fishing Guild and immediately realized I forgot stamina potions. After a quick detour to the bank, I completed Dwarf Cannon for 7 crafting, and then Waterfall Quest for 30 attack and strength. I then teleported to Falador and set up my cannon in order to gain passive ranged XP throughout my run. I then completed Doric's Quest for 10 mining, Druidic Ritual for 3 herblore, and Imp Catcher for 10 magic. After refilling my cannon, I teleported to Varrock and built all the pieces of furniture for the Daddy's Home mini quest, getting me to level 6 construction. Then I finished the Enter the Abyss mini quest for 9 rune crafting, collected my reward from the Natural History quiz for 9 Hunter and Slayer, and then I lit a few logs on the way to finish Daddy's Home. The reason I use colored logs is because they are quicker to burn and give more XP. I tried to finish Daddy's Home, but then I realized I had forgotten to talk to that worthless old man for half a second, so I had to run all the way back to talk to him. Then I finally finished Daddy's Home, getting me to 8 construction. Next I went to Draenor and completed a Porcine of Interest for 13 Slayer, raked 1 bunch of weeds to prevent myself from being 1 farming XP short of a level, then went to Veos to complete X Marks the Spot and Client of Korend, which allowed me to get 8 farming and 5 agility from XP lamps. I then ran all the way to the Asgarnia Ice Dungeon to mine the piece of Blurite ore needed to complete the Knight's Sword for 29 smithing. I then teleported to Camelot to complete Murder Mystery for 14 crafting, and then to the Fishing Guild in order to get to Ardloin. I then completed Plague City for 18 mining, Haziel Cult for 11 thieving, Monk's Friend for 13 woodcutting, and Tree Gnome Village for 36 attack. After refilling my cannon, I completed Gertrude's Cat for 13 cooking, and then went to the Grand Exchange to finish off 30 fire making so I could complete Sea Slug, which would get me to 24 fishing. You can tell by the perfectly optimal pattern of how I lit these fires that I was extremely calm and not panicking at all whatsoever. After reaching 15 fire making, I switched to oak logs, which was actually a much slower way to train fire making as they took much longer to light for only 10 more experience each. After reaching 18 fire making and then lighting a few extra logs for no reason, I made the calm and calculated decision to completely abandon all hope of completing Sea Slug and instead started training Herblore. After a few minutes of training Herblore, I switched over to enchanting bolts for fast magic XP. After training a bit of magic and getting a couple more fletching levels, I teleported to Berthorpe, realized I forgot some items, went back and grabbed them from the bank, and then completed Death Plateau for 37 attack, then went into the Rogue's Den to train some cooking. After burning the vast majority of my Karambans, I decided to give up on cooking and go back to training Fletching and Herblore in Falador Bank. And then for the last 6 minutes of the hour, I decided to grab some combat gear, food, and potions, and fight guards in Falador Square for defense and hit points XP, while also fletching darts in between hits. I finished my run with 413 total level, putting me in 61st place out of 122 competitors. Literally the exact middle of the pack. What? You thought I would only post a video if I won? Give me a break, man. It's not like I'm fucking SoloMission with his fucking lab coat playing fucking RuneScape 25 hours a day. I got other things to worry about, like playing Minecraft over on twitch.tv/Trentacles. But for real though, I wasted like 15 mil on this account. At the very least, I'm gonna get a video out of it.